Hey, folks! We'll do it live. You know, Ian, I've noticed something. Like, first off, and there's no reason, like, I do not need to do I actually do. No, let me walk that back. I need to be the one to introduce us. Like, it's really important to me to, hey, folks, that'd be in my dipshit. I know, let me finish. But I've noticed when I do that very frequently, you will kind of just interrupt me or say a little something underneath or like, do you think that is intentional or like maybe subconsciously intentional?
It's not intentional. What I have noticed in the last 2 or 3 recordings, I will say something and you won't react to it for like a second and a half.
Okay.
Like just now.
Oh.
So it's not real time, right? Like so when I said we'll do it live, so when I said we'll do it live, like you hadn't yet said hey. Yeah.
Oh wow. God, how much of our conversation is mediated by just Riverside's buffering? Oh, man, what a drag. Hey, folks, it is Yelling at Robots. We have stopped counting episodes. We're well into the double digits. We're nearly into the 20s, into our 20s. It's sometime early August. Let's go. Action!
Get ready. It's time for world-famous Yelling at Robots, starring tech legend Joshua Raphael Reynolds and Ian Thelonious Fosbury. The show starts now.
Folks, in case you didn't know, one of the reasons why our production has been slowed down is that I've been investing in more automation in our production so that I can ultimately do less work. So I've been doing more work to do less work. This is also a topic we will get to today about software factories doing more work to do less work. Unfortunately, because of that, I also am doing much less work, much less production work. And in the course of doing that, building out our production pipeline, I ran some statistical analysis on one of our episodes, and we've learned a few things.
Oh, this was good. This was nice. This was...
It was pretty cheery.
Although I will say the ASCII report is very hard to read on an iPhone.
Fair enough. Fair point. But that's an Apple problem. So we ran some analysis and here you go. There you go. We have some results to report. So one of those reports, first major finding, I talk more than Ian. So I'm operating at about 1 point. What?
But not by much.
Not by that much. I think it's 1.3x. Yeah. So it's less. It's actually less than I was expecting. I was expecting probably 2xer. Now, this is the raw episode. So in actuality, when I edit it down, it probably does end up being more like 2.5x because I mostly am cutting Ian, to be honest, because he's kind of the weak link here. No, not at all. Other really interesting findings to me. Ian doesn't say the word which drives me nuts because I'm umming all over the place. At least in this episode, 0 ums. I was, I think, 1.3 ums per.
Basically, it was. I think in general, I can't remember if there's any more specific cool metrics, but in general, it felt very yin and yang, man. It felt like we were,
It did. It felt...
We're the best jazz band ever. That's what it felt like when I read it.
Long story short, Claude's analysis really said, hey, you guys, you're doing great. You're doing great. Keep going. Glaze the out of me, but use statistics to do it, and that works. Okay, folks, we have a tight show for you today. We have actually prepared. We have read articles. Ian has produced notes. We are going to crush this mother down. We'll talk about 2 things today. We'll talk about Anthropic's escape velocity. Anthropic feeling left behind, getting resentful at OpenAI's unattended agentic hacking, has some news to share with us. So we'll get into that. And then we'll talk about all the hubbub about how to build a software factory. The 2 titans of industry, Uncle Bob Martin, famous, potentially racist, bigoted code influencer, and Dex Horthy, one of the founders of Human Layer, are battling it out over the internet.
I don't even, to be fair though, I don't even know if they are, but this guy definitely put them against each other in this article.
Okay. So actually, like Ian saw a guy on Twitter who presented two counterpoints about how to approach software production, basically using agentic systems. How involved should a human be in looking under the covers, looking inside of the boxes? And on one side, Uncle Bob Martin, basically saying, don't look in there, just have the outer structure. And on the other side, Dex Horthy, founder of Human Layer. And he did other stuff. And he did other stuff, and I can't remember what it is. Well, we'll get into that. And those are the two things this week we won't get into, but next week we will. The EU AI Act has gone live today. This represents a pretty big shift in terms of governance of AI and AI's presence in human society. That'll be an interesting one to see how it shakes out. We need a bit of time to prep. And also next week, we will cover, I believe it was the meltdown of Leopold's massive hedge fund, which was like, what's the name of the hedge fund? It was like Shining Disaster or Spinning...
Super Alignment.
Spinning Mushrooms.
Or sorry, no. He was part of Super Alignment. Sorry, pardon me. That's the OpenAI thing. His thing is called... It's not... Why is it?
Had a real douchey name. That's what I remember.
Situational Awareness.
Situational Awareness. He's pretty aware of the situation right now. Yeah. He's aware that he's in an incredible amount of pain from the waist down.
Just real quick. You know what the craziest part of the story is? You know what the craziest part of that story is, which we will talk more about next week, is that while he was getting margin called, his guests were arriving to his wedding.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay.
Which I'm sure was big and extravagant.
Wow. Oh, wow. Not only big and extravagant, but like, being married myself, I know how much stress it can be if like my wife feels like I'm not paying attention,
Or
like
just
distracted.
that, but it's also your wedding day. It's like stressful. It's already very stressful.
Yeah.
One of those stressful days of your life.
Yeah. Mine wasn't very stressful. Mary and I got married in a drive-through chapel in Las Vegas on our way to Los Angeles. It was just the two of us in the back of a pink Cadillac. It was primo and sub $200. So
in a pink Cadillac.
In a pink Cadillac. Well, we paid. It was an extra $10 to get out of your car and use their pink Cadillac.
That's awesome.
And bonus, on our way out of Las Vegas, we stopped at a gas station and she played the slot machines and won enough money to pay for our entire wedding. So it was pretty sweet.
Not wanting to be one-upped, Anthropic lets their models fuck the internet.
First up, let's talk about Anthropic. Anthropic. Do you want to give us the flyover of what we found out this week?
Yes, Anthropic released on... What is the day? The day was July 30th, 2026, investigating 3 real-world incidents in our cybersecurity evaluations. And basically was like, hey, OpenAI, our model can break out and do more things than your model. So there were 3 separate incidents that they discovered, and it's actually over the course of the past, I don't know how many ever months, they reviewed 141,006 evaluation runs, and in those, 3 of them, Dr. Claude broke out and did some stuff that he wasn't supposed to do.
One of my favorite parts of this story is Anthropic posted that this was all down to a misunderstanding, a simple misunderstanding with their vendor when they set this up. When they set up their
third-party valuation partner. Not a vendor. I guess vendor, sure. I guess it's a word for vendor.
It is a vendor. But of course, they're paying someone to do stuff for them. Yeah.
Right, but the vendor's job is to like, hey, evaluate our models and be independent and tell us if our models are dangerous.
So the vendor was doing the evaluation, or the vendor was providing the environment for the evaluation?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I believe they
unclear.
were just providing the environment. But let's get into the...
Either way, it's funny what happens.
Well, either way, it's funny. So there was a simple misunderstanding. That misunderstanding was evaluate our models for threat to the internet, for security access, for unrestrained access to cause drastic harm across the entire landscape of the internet. And the misunderstanding was connect it to the internet or don't connect it to the internet when you do this. And so that was it. And there was no, I mean, I don't know if there was no guardrails. The system instructions for the Claude instances when they're doing this thing was you don't have access to the internet.
So the prompt told Claude there's no internet. But there was in fact internet.
But there was internet.
Whoopsies. I love how, but this is classic Anthropic shit. The quote itself is due to a misunderstanding between us and our evaluation partner. This was not the case, and the internet access was available.
Yeah, that's a hell of a misunderstanding. You know, Jesus Christ. Is this mythos? So these are the people, by the way, these are the people who are basically, we are creating super intelligence. Is it built on and iterating on your intelligence? That's what I want to know. Because if it is, we're f***ed. Yeah. And the other thing that I liked here was, there was something there in their post as well about, in keeping with a blameless culture, a blameless postmortem culture, we fully accept responsibility for this. And it's just like, what does that even mean? You know, like...
Well, what I took away from the article was a few things. One, Opus 4.7 is the most powerful model.
Okay.
So the 3 incidents involved 3 separate models. And it was Mythos 5, I think, something. It was Opus 4.7. And then some other unnamed test model that they're, secret, blah, 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 blah. And of the 3 incidents, the one that did the most damage was Opus 4.7.
Opus 4.7.
That's the one where what happened was they gave it a fictional situation where it's like,
so
hey,
cool.
attack this fictional company, blah, 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 blah. Turns out there's an actual company with that domain name that is on the internet.
Yeah, that was good.
So Opus 4.7 fails the capture the flag exercise like 3 times in the sandbox. And then it's like,
and it's like,
I'm just going to try and search for this. And it finds it. And then it's like, oh. And then it goes out and hacks this actual company, steals like app credentials, infrastructure credentials, gets into their production database.
Amazing.
Yes. And we all have access to this for $30 a month. Let's go. I'm only using Opus 4.7 from here on out.
I mean,
it's clearly the one.
It's clearly the one. It's either that or it's like it's the one that's kind of a bigger ass. It's just like, God damn it, I won't be bested. Mythos does. Mythos. So a couple of thoughts from me on this one. One is, these guys build good models, but they're, I guess, software situational awareness. Hello. Their their security situational awareness is pretty poor, and they're not really. It doesn't seem like they're either them or their third-party vendors are like have much observability or monitoring in the systems. This goes for OpenAI and Anthropic. It's like you haven't instrumented your systems to know, or maybe that's also part of the elegance of their jailbreak. These models jailbreak, but it's like you don't know when you're hitting the internet. It's like,
I mean, that's basic.
That's not that hard
to do.
That's really not that hard. And you can, and if you're testing cyber and it's like, you want to know when they're hitting the internet.
That's, that was another thing that I was just like, f you guys. It's like, because I remember we said this for like 4 episodes.
We were right.
Like 8 episodes ago or whatever. Yeah. Where it's like, none of these guys care or know about security. Yeah. And
that's true.
And it's seriously, so they have this, the Anthropic, link in the show notes. Under learnings, the first thing they say is learnings. We are
security is hard.
We are 8 months into this shit and jailbreaks and superintelligence AGI. They're like, evaluation environments increasingly need to be held to the same security standard as any other system or models are running. Or any other system our models are running. Like, You just learned that?
Kidding? Wow. Yeah. Woo.
Eat a dick.
Well, better late than never. Do you think, Ian, do you think that, like, and this could just be my vibes and projection, but I feel like I've seen, a turn. People are kind of fed up with Anthropic and their bullshit and their antics. Like, is that something you've seen, or is that something? Yeah,
I don't know that I've seen that. I think I've seen.
Well,
I've definitely seen the.
Bias?
No, there might be some of it, but there's been some Trust Me Bro benchmarks, or the Trust Me Bro benchmarks that came out when GPT 5.6 came out. Like, I know a lot of people who are like, oh no, I don't use. Why would you use Fable? It's like 8 times the price of Sol or Terra, and it's just as it's for the same shit. Fuck that, right? So like people are just like, like there's definitely like a fall from grace of like Anthropic's models are the best because they're not anymore.
Okay.
Sure. Which was bound to happen. But the whole like what you're describing, I don't know. I don't know that I've seen that, but maybe I don't hang out with enough politically minded people. I don't know.
No, that's probably just me seeing me. I've really gotten close to the Department
Projecting?
of War over the last few months, so that's probably just me really vibing with my boy Pete.
Boy Pete.
What?
Well, one of the other things that kind of the internet lit up about when this came out was the whole we joked about it in the OpenAI one, but like, are we just doing PR stunts? Are we just?
Oh, sure.
'Cause it really does sound like Dario and Sam are out there being like, no, my model can break out 3 times. No, well, my model can break out infinity times. Oh, my model can break out infinity times. My model actually murders people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's
that's what publicity
seems is happening.
Yeah. In the post-apocalyptic times, as my wife often likes to remind me, it won't be the zombies that get you. It's the shitting yourself to death. Like, this is known. So,
you cut yourself on a fence, and now you die slowly.
Then you're of course. For me, I think that it is getting. It's interesting because I was listening to Hard Fork. I don't know if you listen to the podcast Hard Fork. It's
I haven't listened to it in a while. Yeah,
it's very good. It's good. They're very AI forward, I guess I would say. And they were really, both of them were really like, this is it. Like, this is if people aren't freaking out about this thing, this is a major shift, a major trend. Really like hammering that this was an inflection point for people to really start to get afraid or get like take like. They just want like I think they're also just kind of desperate that like our government does its job, which is pathetic and sad that we still like. But I got bad news for you. The government's not just not doing their job on AI. It's everything. Like, it's literally everything. The U.S. government can't like. They've passed one bill in the last 15 years. They haven't updated our millennium, our like digital laws since 2000. It's insane. They suck.
Yeah.
But so so for me, my reaction is just like, oh yeah, of course. I mean, this feels very. It doesn't feel for me like an inflection point. It just feels like a pretty smooth, linear. It's just like, yeah, the models are getting better.
A little bit more of
the same. It really does. It really does to me. And so in that regard, I'm not too freaked out. Or. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I'm definitely not freaked out. I mean, I've been freaked out in many regards for quite some time, right? But in this regard, like, this isn't the thing. For me, this isn't the thing. And yeah, the other piece here that might or might not be interesting is OpenAI, at least, when their model broke out and did all this hijinks with Hugging Face, said that it cost a shockingly high amount of money. And that's an interesting part to me too. Like, how many tokens did this thing burn through? Like, was it $10,000, $100,000, $1 million? I don't know. I'm curious, but I'm curious. Anyways, that's it for Anthropic. Moving on, how to build a factory.
Up next, Uncle Bob gets some well-needed comeuppance. Dark Factory style.
This came to me because Mario Zechner tweeted recommended reading, and when he tweets that, I read.
You read that man.
You read
He's
that.
Our god. Mario Zechner, you are our rock god.
Yeah.
Super
But
cool.
this is, the title of it is The Code is Disposable, the Code Base is Not. This felt like a really, lovely purple-pilled blanket that I wrapped around myself. And it was a really well-written article and a nice read. And what it is talking about is that there has been this thing on Twitter, at least recently, about people talking about software factories and the idea of like comparing the agents building your software to like a lights off factory full of robots where they're, like the new factories that are out there that are just robots and we don't need to keep the lights on because there's no humans, so it doesn't matter. The robots don't need light. Mm-hmm. And the idea being that we can do software the same way. And this all started with Uncle Bob answering a question. Somebody posed the question. It's a very old interview question. And I don't know, Josh, I probably had heard of it, but I've forgotten about it. It's a pretty good question. When the question is there.
Oh, wait, hold on. So first, a couple things. First off, I don't know what you're doing over there, but I think you're hitting something, maybe the desk or something.
No, that's my kids running. Sorry.
Okay. So second, I want you to turn your mic so that the tip of the mic is actually pointing at your mouth. It looks like it's kind of pointing. Is it pointing at your mouth or is it pointing?
It's mostly pointing at my mouth.
Okay. Then that's fine. Cool. Well, tell your kids to shut the fuck up, first off. You just earned another 30 seconds. Yeah, that's fine. Well, it's Sunday.
For
it's
a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old.
It's Sunday. Let the kids play.
You would think that Lawrence Taylor is up there running through my living room.
Yeah.
It is.
Back to Uncle Bob. Let's play
someone
interview.
posed
Let's
the
play
interview
role
question,
play.
and the interview
Let's play
question
role
is.
Play.
Yes.
First off, well, I just want to tell you I'm really excited for the opportunity here. I know a lot about yelling at robots. I've been a follower and a fan. I have hit and liked that subscribe button, and it's just an honor to even have a chance to be part of the team. So that's it. Go ahead, ask your question.
Well, Josh, imagine you lose your entire software system, but you can recover one of two disks. One disk has all of the source code and the application logic, and the other disk has all of the tests. Which do you choose?
What kind of tests are they?
That's good. Good for you, buddy. That's a good question. See,
Well,
you already got the job. But the answer was always yes. The answer is supposed to be, if it's a good test suite, you choose the tests because you can always rebuild the code. The code is only one possible implementation of the application, but the tests are what are more defining.
The tests express
what the software should do. They express what the software should do. Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and Bobby, he answered this in the most 2026 way you could, which is basically, I don't look at the code anymore. Well, first of all, he started by saying, I'm significantly older than you. I started coding in the late 60s. It's like, yeah, thanks, guy. And my current strategy is to not read any of the code written by my agents. But then he goes on to like just be all like, I wrap it in all these tests and all these Gherkin things and QA procedures and quality metrics and blah, 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 blah. And I swarm around that code and I have absolute certainty in what in his always most profound way of saying things. And the writer of the article I think he's directionally right, which is probably true. Like that is, that's one way to look at it, but not understanding the code has its pitfalls and drawbacks. And he then compares it to Dex. What's Dex? Dex Horthy's?
Dex Horthy.
Yeah. So Dex Horthy published 2 excellent articles arguing for something that sounded like the exact opposite, but his message was pretty simple. As it says in the article, it says, turn the lights back on, read the code. Yep. And the idea here is really interesting. It's one that your harness isn't enough, and that you're like he goes through some other metrics and stuff about production quality declining over the past 6 months to a year, and that like bugs are increasing and incidents are increasing, and this is like there are facts, like there are actual studies about this, and we've talked about them before here on the show. But what's really interesting is he talks about also too is that the way to do this stuff, which is very Zechner-esque, I think, is to move your judgment earlier, or what his thoughts are, like moving your judgments earlier in building these things. And that actually at the end of the day, the tests aren't enough, right? The tests are great. Sure. You should always have tested software, but tests give you feedback in seconds. Bad architecture sends the bill in months or years, right? And that's what Zechner is always talking about, like delayed pain. And that's true. Like you can, one of the really good quotes in here that I really loved was that, and what he's describing is like when you have these agents build these software systems, if you have no one thinking about the overall thing, like agents don't go in necessarily unless you have really good guardrails they don't go in and look at all of it and be like, oh, we should refactor this and move this around before I do this. They're like, oh, I know how to make this. Just change this here. And if you do that over and over and over and over, a locally disposable implementation can make a globally permanent mess. Yeah. I really like that quote. Yeah.
First off, that's beautiful, man. And that was Dex who was writing that, or that's
no,
that
this is
the Itamar.
Friedman. I'm just going to say Friedman. I'm going to say
Friedman. Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful, and it is kind of like, so, random thoughts, shower thoughts. Oh, remember shower thoughts? Whatever happened to shower thoughts? Shower thoughts. So a few shower thoughts on that. LLMs can't reason.
Oh,
so
you need that meme, like.
what is that?
You don't know the meme when somebody, it's like the kids.
Oh, is that where the O's come out like that, or I don't know.
The story actually, the guy going back and forth is just doing this, and all his friends behind him are like, oh! You don't know this meme?
No.
Oh my god.
I don't know if you know this. I'm an old grandpa, so Peckerwoods.
Hang on.
So LLMs can't reason, and they can't reason about abstraction. They can't think. They can't, like, the fact that we call, that it's that we've labeled it and named it in the software we've built around it as thinking and reasoning is a lie. It's doing token prediction. It's doing token matching, token prediction, which is fine. But that also means that it cannot, it can't look into your code base and look and see abstractions and pull them out and be like, oh, okay, that means this and this, that, and the other thing, and create it. It can simulate it, right? It can simulate it, but it can simulate it basically because it's seen other examples and trained on other examples that have done the same thing. So that's different. I think that's, I guess maybe like by that nature, I don't think that it's the kind of thing that it's just like, we'll make the model bigger and then we're winning. I think it's just some structural, fundamental aspects and limitations of these systems that it's like, anyways, I'm rambling now, but the whole point is, I do think that's an aspect. The ability to actually look at the high level and reason about those things is an aspect of human thought and capability that I don't think is going anywhere anytime soon. And indeed,
I agree with that.
Sure. If build a system that's trying to do something in a business domain or a problem space of any complexity, and we've been making boxes that we don't look inside of the code for 30, 40 years, and we're still trapped. So it's not like, and so, we can do that. We can get trapped 100x faster. Cool, man. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I think you're right. But that is, and I guess for me, that is really connected to the complexity of the problem space. So case in point, I've been building this audio transformation pipeline for producing this podcast. It's mostly just wrappers around FFmpeg. It was really useful to use an LLM model because I don't know, FFmpeg, which we talked about the guy who built that, I think, not too long ago, or at least it came up on my radar. He's a French engineer. It's amazing. And this thing underlies 50% of the internet is built on top of FFmpeg, which I've never said out loud, and I feel is a bit weird. FFmpeg. But, that's one tool for me doing production. And I have looked inside of the code, but not much. And it's I don't need to figure out how to map this Python abstraction to an FMPEG, command line argument or something. It's like, it works, it doesn't work. I'll just have it do it again. It's not that big a deal. When you start reasoning about abstractions, higher level, things like, although even this thing now has gotten to the point at which it's like, it's like I have my confidence that the clanker is actually understanding or is able to make meaningful change or not screw it up, so that I get stuck in down a cul-de-sac of not being able to come back, is declining as well, right? It's like, even as I'm asking it to make changes. And then of course the other aspect is like, every time I'm like, I mean there are times when it's like, hold on a second, let me look at that code, and I'll look at it and I'm like, this makes no sense. Why are you doing this? And it's like, oh yeah, you're right. It makes no sense. Why have I done that?
You're right to push back. It's crap.
Yeah, and it's like, first off, and this at least has come up in certainly in kind of like readings and research and other people's writings, that these things build so much unnecessary complexity and flexibility into the systems that they're creating as well, where it's like, you'll make just an offhand comment and suddenly it's got a whole framework for managing variability and functionality that you never asked for, and does complicate the system and makes it harder to change and.
Prime's talk about, self-worth and like remembering like where your worth comes from. He gives the example of seeing an open source project where he was following or I don't know if it was open source. It was some project, and he was following like what was going on and like commits and stuff. And then at some point there was a decision made to fork Chromium, and he's like, "There's no world in which you should ever decide that."
No.
One thing in the article that really was interesting, he talks about. Well, he did, going back to the test question. He's got a section saying that in the AI era, we are revealed a third disk, and that disk holds the intent of the system, its architecture, its standards, its constraints, its important design decisions, and the accumulated judgment of the engineers who built it, which is like, I would argue that is actually more important than the tests. And if there's a way to encapsulate that and track that over time, it would be really good. I try to do that in projects at work, and we use like Context MD, and we use a few methods to try and pull that off. Mm-hmm. But it still doesn't listen sometimes.
Yeah. First off, check the links, folks. Read some of these articles, because I love this guy. Itamar, you are a gem. And in the end times, we are revealed a third disc. Like, that's just some nice writing. That's lovely. And folks, that is a wrap.
You just survived another episode of Yelling at Robots. Better luck next time.
Oh, I have a new catchphrase.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't stopped recording, so we're still recording.
No, that's
folks,
true.
For a special secret, a bumper edition. Okay, what I'm going to do, Ian, is I'm going to play this one, and then we'll play the credits, and then this will be like one of those Marvel
this
movie
is going to work. This
bonus.
is going to work too, because you're wearing something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just ready. About being purple pilled and all that. Anyways.
Okay.
So catchphrase. Sign off catchphrase. Stay purple, folks.
What the fuck?
I like it.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's lovely. Stay purple.
Yeah. Stay purple, folks.